The morning of my wedding was supposed to feel magical. Instead, it felt like I was standing on glass. I remember staring at myself in the mirror, hands trembling as my best friend Lena adjusted my veil. My dress was simple, elegant, and paid for with every extra shift I had worked for 2 years. No diamonds sewn into the fabric, no designer label hidden inside the collar. Just lace, satin, and a woman who had fought hard for one beautiful day. "You look stunning," Lena whispered. I smiled, but it barely reached my eyes. Because downstairs, I could already hear my mother's voice. "Oh, this is the dress?" she said, loudly enough for the walls to carry it upstairs. I thought she was joking. A few people laughed. My stomach dropped. My mother had always cared about appearances more than feelings. To her, life was a stage, and everyone existed to make her look successful. My father was quieter, but worse in some ways. He never stopped her. He simply stood beside her and nodded. When I was accepted into college, they told people they had guided me there. When I bought my first apartment, they said it was because of their sacrifices. When I met Daniel, the kindest man I had ever known, they suddenly acted like loving parents in front of him. But behind closed doors, they still treated me like I was a disappointment they could decorate. That morning, I walked downstairs trying to protect my peace. The room went silent for a second. Then my mother tilted her head and smiled the kind of smile that cuts deeper than shouting. "Well," she said, "at least it hides your shoulders." A few guests looked away awkwardly. Daniel stepped toward me from across the room, eyes full of concern. "You okay?" I nodded. I lied. My father raised a glass and laughed. "Let's hope the marriage lasts longer than her fashion choices." More laughter. I felt heat rise to my face. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask why two people who were supposed to love me always needed to break me in public. But I stayed quiet, because I had spent my whole life being the bigger person. I told myself to focus on Daniel, on our vows, on the